Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Men should always strive for freedom. Yeah, this consider this video kind of a preview of the type of videos I'm going to be doing on that upcoming entrepreneurial channel, right? Because I'm not going to talk about so much the mechanics of starting a business. I mean, you can go on any online site for that, or what type of businesses to start. Nah, I'll probably, when I do the channel, I'll probably be talking about little stuff, like some of that stuff some survival stuff, like finding out where the dollar store is, or finding out where the farmers markets are to eat food, best type of air mattresses to get, the mentality that you have to have in order to live that type of life. Because that's what my focus is going to be on, more the psychology of it, because there's plenty of people who can do all the technical stuff and even have a skill. But can they survive times where they might go 3 or 4 weeks without really making any money? Can they mentally do it? It don't matter if they have savings or stuff, but can they mentally do it? Because that's what's going to happen. If you in that business, you're going to any type of business, it's going to be good days and bad days, slow days. And even if you got a savings, you can chill out. Can you mentally handle it? So I'm going to be talking about that, stuff like that. But for today's video, I think men should always be striving for freedom. I think every man needs to carve out his own individual empire. That's regardless of whether he's an entrepreneur or he's working a 9-to-5 or a 12-hour a day job, whatever. Whatever you do, you got to carve out your own empire. Now, it's obvious from the entrepreneurial thing, you have to carve out something, but even then, you still dependent on others. It's one way or the other, even if it's for supplies or for money, or there's a lot of people who make money through Google or something like Amazon. That means for your business, you dependent on them doing good business, and that's for anything. But the point is, you still want to have some leverage. You will still want to have some negotiating room. You don't want to be in a position where you have to take whatever somebody gives you. Whether you're an independent business person, whether you providing a service, whether you just have some side hustle, or even if you want a 9-to-5 job, you still have to have some leverage with them, because trust me, they will try you. I don't care, everybody who's worked on some job know you're going to have some office politics or something. But you have to strive to be in a position where your actions are free. It's to the best extent possible. To the best extent. I mean, if you're on some decent job or something and somebody piss you off, it probably wouldn't be a wise idea just to beat the shit out of them right there. I know you want to, but you still got to be in a position where they realize it's not in their best interest to mess with you because of the value that you bring. Now, in striving to be free, it's very important that men have knowledge. Always seek knowledge. Always seek knowledge. Always know, not only what you're doing in your job or your career or your vocation, but just have general knowledge of whatever's going on in any situation. Like I mentioned, office politics. Always know where you stand with who got the power, who doesn't. And you don't have to kiss up on anything like that, but just always know what's going on. That's basic knowledge. I mean, we all know about the knowledge of, whatever information or skills you need to effectively do your job, but you also have to know what's going on. And that's not just on the job, just going through life. Knowledge is important for men. Like, knowledge is our thing. for all men. See, our realm is the mind. Like the woman's realm is really the material. You know, what to do with those resources and all of that. You know, if we were operating in a more natural society, you know, men would, you know, kill that beast, kill that animal, bring the animal home, and the woman would know what to do with it because that's their domain. You know, in Native American culture, shoot, those Native American women, they could use every part of that buffalo, but that's a woman's nature. But our nature is to go out and seek knowledge. You know, even this Tantra master, I mean, he's on some deep metaphysical stuff, but he said all men need to they need to stay close to the streets. And I don't mean you gonna live that street life or anything, but what he meant was you gotta always know what's going on. You know, that's part of it. I mean, that's part of like the knowledge thing. Because ultimately you have to bring all of those things together. You have to bring all of those things together in order to, you know, have power. Because that's what it all comes down to. And don't be squeamish about power. I know there's some people who got some negative thoughts about power. All things need power or they die. All men should have some type of power. And that, like I said, it's hard to be totally independent in this culture, but you do need leverage. You know, always have some leverage, always accumulate power, always have something. And believe it or not, money really isn't power. It's a tool of power, but it really isn't power. Real power is the ability to get the money. You remember that real power is the ability to get the money. Like say you stand up on principle on someone your 9-to-5 job. Like you ain't gonna take some bullshit just as a man. And I know back in the day, and I told this story before. My grandmother worked with this Jamaican brother, and he was a high grade in the government. But somebody said something to him he didn't like, and he busted him in the face. And she said nothing happened to him. Now, of course, nowadays, something, you know, you get all sorts of bullshit with it, but he just wasn't going to put up with some stuff. And men actually need to get back to that. Men need to get back to it. Men need to stand up to the point that they won't even put up with crap on a job, even for money. Even if they got, no matter what, you know, have some integrity. But in order to really truly be in that position, because it's easy to say, but if you're the type of guy, you haven't developed your knowledge and your power or your leverage or anything, shoot, you just got to put up with that bullshit. So you always want to seek that knowledge, turn it into power, so no matter what, you can be free to be who you really are. Always remember that. Now people will say, well, Ron, you always talking about relationships and all of that. How you talking about knowledge and power? Look, I want y'all to remember something. Yeah, I talk about, you know, women, sex, getting them and all that. But for a man, remember one thing. Ultimately, it's about you. It's about your life and what you're trying to do. A woman is ultimately not the goal of your life. Yeah, you want that good. You know, I want that booty. Shit. Yeah, shit, a woman around butt, shit. Make me want to tie my shoes right. But at the same time, it's still about Rom's piece and what Rom wants to do. And fellas, just remember this. Ultimately, that woman is not somebody you serving, but she need to serve your program. No ifs, ands, and buts. You know, if she need to cooperate with you. If she gonna ask you to do all this and make all the money and take care of her and build all this for her, well, shoot, she need to be serving your program. Just remember, think about it like this: a woman to a man of power needs to be a commercial to the main program. You know, a break from the program, you know, a 2-minute break. because you focusing on what you trying to do. You focusing on increasing your knowledge so you can increase your power. And you doing that so you can be free. You need to be striving for that every moment. Like I said, I know it ain't easy. It ain't supposed to be easy. This whole system is set up so all you doing is being a cog in the machine, feeding those at the top who are living without bounds. Nah, you don't want to do that. Nah, man. It's like, nah, hold up, dog. Shoot, you want to do your stuff. You want to focus on creating your freedom. And you need to be doing that from every waking moment. Even when you need to be dreaming about ways of getting free. Like you be in your sleep and whatnot. You be like, yeah, I can start this business right here. Yeah. We'll make a bunch of money right here. Shit. Yeah. Smack that person for getting in their way. Yeah, you be talking in your sleep and stuff about business. Or whatever you're going to do. But that's ultimately, and men got to think that way, free. You know, you don't want to be in a position where you forced to take some that you don't want to do, forced to take a woman that you rather not be with. Because once you have that knowledge and power, shoot, you can acquire whatever you want. Think about it. You can acquire whatever you need. You don't have to tolerate anything. So keep focusing on that, fellas. Focus on that freedom. You ultimately trying to be free. All right? Yeah, this is it for today. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.